Teresa.
To understand the spell which binds Walyas, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the Imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend revealing how to make your very own Mother Crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant Walyas.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new Mother Crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the Mother Crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the Dome of Light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the Surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, There are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. There should even one...
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will...
You have my thanks.
Very well. I fear time may no longer be a luxury.
The Vair is not easy to find. We must first head north, and then west, deeper into the forest.
I suspect two dominants can handle whatever it is that awaits you atop.
No sign of the child.
Reckon my steel's just as good as any. Flawless. A good tide to you.
Just...
Is everything...
You're the outsider, and this is Talor.
Nothing too serious.
I hope so too.
But...
This affliction, it's like nothing I've ever... My most powerful, and I'm starting to wonder if his condition... Shula said that you were here.
I'd be happy to.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do. Something must have caught the trouble is. So while you...
All right.
Oh,
I do.
I see.
It's no trouble.
Not that I know. Suppose he might...
When you say...
Just round the village. Maybe he knows something.
Maybe.
Greetings, Jim.
Your name is Blazir, is it not?
Zelda's. Talor's never been ill a day in his life.
Oh, Fenner doesn't know either.
Oh, did you see anything strange? It was like he was expecting something.
Well, that's certainly... And it might just...
I do...
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
I can hardly believe it. Talor...
I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me.
Nothing conclusive. Blazir, the fisherman, he kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast.
The forest? Surely not.
But...
I can't say for sure. You may have encountered them.
And you think they...
I do. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask. There's an altar there. And please. There's an old altar in the forests of Father's Fell where the Tombries sometimes congregate. If you leave now, it might not be too late.
Bastard things. Oh, I never should have let him go alone. You!
Shula said you were a... Hey? I'm worried about a friend of mine. He went into the... Would you help me find?
I can try.
Of course. You know about the
Shula told us...
Right. If it weren't for the likes of...
So your friend went...
Aye, that's right. He said he was going... There are 2 cairns out.
All right.
His name's Nasser. If you could track...
Very well. One cairn by the ships, another by the river. Better get moving.
Hail, stranger. Are you a rider?
I am.
Oh, and not just any. If I had a guess, Ambrosia.
Well, she's...
You joke.
I
This I've got.
I would if I could, but
Me dad's got a boat. It'd be perfect timing and all. He's
You would? Well, all right then.
He'll be in the... Me dad'll be in the storehouse across the brook checking our stocks. He'll help you ferry.
Before, we turned east at the shipwrecks to reach the coast. Now we must head in the opposite direction.
Left it is then. If there's one thing I know about beastmen, is that they love to hide in the dark. What are they up? Some sort of Sorry to disturb you. A silverch. I doubt the Tombury's made. Well, here's the can. But to the riverbank then. I did.
I'm...
Well, I'm still...
Forgive me. This chain.
Worn by men of the...
To understand that, they feed on hatred, and some say that if you...
So you think someone's put a...
But given his fear of the forest...
Does Talor have any enemies?
No, I believe...
I beg your pardon.
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you were...
You're saying...
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain.
Did they ever catch?
Not that he ever...
Come now. Let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past.
All right. If there's any...
Thank you.
Aye. We call it an adder stone. It's a gather. If you find anything...
I am, thank...
Yes? A good tide to you.
No sign of the child. You one of the...
I am.
I am.
She's asked to see my chocolate.
Are you...
Well, truth be told, I didn't take the idea seriously at first.
Still, they don't take... I'll need you to bring us a mimic gourd or two.
And...
Oh, don't ask me.
Well, the man who made Ambrosius tack lived, so I suppose...
I'll be sailing over... It's a mimic gourd you need, or your bird will panic as soon as the first...
There is a matter.
Of course, what is...
Please.
Something serious.
Yes, I was passing by the low gate. But the more I think about it...
And you're sure it...
Positive. Of course, it could just be... But if it is, would...
Very well. Whether the man...
Perhaps. Just promise me that...
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yamila, this man you...
A customer?
I'll explain later.
The figure I saw was about halfway up the cloak.
Breath of the Arbor.
Who's there? Stop!
No! No! Hang on! I'm coming!
Don't eat me! I'll give you that one, I swear! I'm more than...
Maybe you should
Perfect.
I came to see you. Oh, my little...
Thank you,
Who is he?
Hervey. One of many clients.
One of many clients? We spoke, and then you upped and vanished without...
I left you a note, didn't I? I told you, and I told you not to look for me.
The flame of your...
Hervey.
I was walking by the next moment. She and her companion...
It must have been Shula. So what? You rode.
And as I did, the scar... That was when...
Oh, why did... I cannot leave my people, We must...
I'm to meet your...
But first... Forgive...
There's nothing. You two met at the...
When I worked there, yes. And for that reason, some of us seek him.
And so you supported...
I did. And I also... But our love could never...
What will happen to it? I see.
That was before. Ymila, know that I do not blame you. This was my mistake.
Thank you, tributary.
I will take that into consideration.
Of course. Come what may. I left Hervey because I couldn't turn my back on my family.
I don't care what happens to me. Now I've found my...
No sign of the child.
Got a few rooms going spare now. You want a bed for the night? You speak to Martha.
I remember.
She's very...
Oh, don't thank me. You're... Anyway.
I was hoping to... And I thought...
Oh, reckon I...
Really?
Aye, you'd be doing me a favour taking a few off my ass. But just be on the lookout for wild birds, eh?
I will.
Oh, you're very welcome. And in times like...
We certainly did. Northridge, then. Wouldn't want to keep Anders' father waiting.
Founder only knows what I'm going to do with all these cords.
Come on. Faster! Be safe.
Ah, there. And this must be...
I have the Mimigut.
Thank you kindly.
We're going to take a little trip. Well, we made...
Brave, too. She was calm as you... The Mimic Gourd will have played its part, of course, but passing through the wall...
Ambrosia's been through a lot.
Not with her beloved master.
No.
Anyway, thanks.
And if you and Ambrosia need ferrying back...
Thank you. Run like the wind. Who have we here? I'm looking for...
Aye. What do you want with the lad, anyway?
Apparently he ventured out...
Ah.
You're a hunter, yes?
There's a bridge, but if I remember rightly...
Maybe...
Don't mention it. I'll keep it...
Let's hope so. Must be the bridge the hunter was talking about. Hold on! No mistakes. I'm the tributary's guest. And
I am? But...
Your friend Katav asked me to look for you.
I was so focused on attuning the cairn, I didn't see the...
How exactly do they work?
Oh, there are crystals inside. They're what... should the ether cease to flow through to...
And an important...
Yeah, the truth is...
So you found him?
Not before the local fauna did.
Expect you'll be one.
When you're next in Haven.
If you insist. This is the mineral Pavar was talking about. The one that rings out like a bell. What was this place?
An old settlement, we think. It was already long abandoned when my people arrived. Leviathan drowned it before it could be fully explored.
bastard things.
Tore the fig away. I thought I'd lost you, but you saw to it. Thank you. Nasev told me everything.
What that matters, far be it from me to tell you how to do your job.
Or if we have to. It'd take its toll, of course.
I'd rather not.
Your bearers.
That we are, thank the tides. The others can't attune to the crystals in the...
So, you do this work?
We're forced to. No. From what I've heard, our people are few enough as it is. If we...
They would.
Anyway, all's well...
Lovely work.
The few crystals we can get hold of, we add to the cairns to keep the glamour from fading.
And what are you two drawing?
The rill. Seeing who's fastest.
Enough of you, are there?
There's a large gate up ahead, and beyond it, a cluster of ancient ruins. The temple, or the Heir of Hours as my people call it, can only be reached by passing through them. The forest is crawling with life, most of it hungry, which is why we make sure this gate stays shut.
And why you carry that impressive-looking axe, I presume.
Noticed her, have you?
The temple is up there.
Don't worry. Those cliffs on. You only wait to the top.